Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Z. I'm a clinical psychologist specializing in transgender care. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you something that's actually really important to acknowledge, to be able to recognize in the midst of your transition or just before you even go through transition. Something that a lot of us tend to actually neglect just naturally, because this is not an easy thing to do, but it is such an important thing to do. This is kind of similar to the video I did for all of you where I talked about the importance of confronting parts that cause you the most dysphoria first versus leaving it until the last minute. So what I'm talking today about is actually learning and starting to become more starting to become much more what's the word I'm looking for, habituated, if you will, moving with attention versus against attention. Let me explain to you. There's a lot of things in your transition that are going to cause you tremendous amount of tension. By tension, I mean discomfort. The discomfort can be fear. It can be feeling like you're not ready yet, feelings that you don't have all of the things you need in order to move forward. So there's going to be a lot of personal things that are going to cause you quite a bit of discomfort within the tension block. A lot of times what you don't realize is that while you're actually telling yourself, I will do A until B is completed, because you're feeling the tension, what you're really doing is you're sabotaging yourself in many ways. And another thing that you're really doing is you're really avoiding dealing with your transition. A really good example that I recently witnessed in my private practice is working with an individual where they haven't really come out at work, even though it is right now the time in their transition path to come out at work. They haven't come out at work because they have the tension that they feel that if they were to come out at work, that means now they have to present and start to push that envelope in presenting in the gender that they're comfortable with. And also they're going to have to start using the right pronouns and using the right name. And that person felt like, well, I'm not there yet. Why don't I just wait until I'm much more presentable in my gender, if you will? I say the opposite is actually, needs to happen. By that I mean, no, I want you to go and I want you to confront the tension head on. Because you're going to confront the tension head on, it's going to cause a little bit more tension within you. That's going to be the tension all of you are going to need to start doing things and to start pushing envelopes. A lot of times, a lot of you don't realize how much self-sabotage is actually happening. And this is even unconscious, even unbeknown to you. A lot of you don't realize how much avoidance you engage in. And again, this is not about making you all feel guilty or saying that all of you are just not doing anything within your transition. No, not at all. This is just to point out that a lot of this behavior happens without you even aware of it. Because as human beings, remember, we don't like change. Transition in of itself requires a lot of change. Transition is about change, period. It's about many changes to your body, changes to your appearance, changes to your external presentation, changes to your social interaction, changes to how you navigate life, changes how you feel about yourself, changes to, changes. There's a lot of changes to transition. And as human beings, it is normal for us to avoid change. We may understand and know that we need the change, that change is actually something good for us. But it's one thing to know that it's good for us. It's another thing to go through things we need to go in order to make the change happen. For that reason, again, your ego is going to employ a lot of resistance, self-sabotaging, avoidance, escapism, a lot of other little nuances, including telling yourself, I will do it when I'm ready. There's never going to be necessarily a ready feeling in transition. There's just going to be a lot of things in transition. A lot of them are not going to feel like you're ready, and a lot of them are just going to have to happen. And the quicker you are going to be able to confront tensions in your life versus avoiding it, the bigger, it's going to be better for you for once. And then one of the biggest benefit of constantly confronting the tension is that you're going to get better at confronting tension. Trust me, you will. 2, you're going to learn that every time you confront tension, something happens. And what happens is that tension tends to diffuse because by confronting it, you made yourself feel better. This is like fear, right? When we're fearful, If you don't confront it, what happens? The fear tends to expand like a balloon and expand and expand and expand and take a life of its own. The best way to combat fear is actually to go ahead and confront it. The same thing with the tension. So tension is actually a welcome thing, the way I see it in our lives. Tension is, again, what enables us to grow. You want to meet the tension, and the more you practice meeting the tension, the better off you're going to be. Trust me, I know this personally, perhaps not through gender transition, because I have never gone through gender transition, but I know this very well because I had to make a lot of changes and still do in my life through other elements of life transitions. And there's always tension. And I have to constantly push myself too, just like you do, to constantly meet the tension. And sometimes, you know what, it doesn't work, and sometimes I can't do it. And sometimes you're not going to be able to do it. That's okay. Be compassionate towards yourself. But try to recognize other times and push yourself toward it versus away from it. And I promise you, you're going to be better off. And it's also going to create some other tension in areas of your transition that needs to be addressing, because there's always things that we need to address. So comment below, let me know what tensions are you feeling right now in your life. What do you do when you feel tension? Do you actually move forward to tension, or do you move away from it? Comment below, let me know. I love reading all of your comments, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.